Hello and welcome back to Officina Virtuale. Let's continue on Mana Camp, and in mechanical design and part design we can call this part manual base, and let's click on OK. To realize our part we can select the YZ plane, and on this plane we can sketch 4 different axes. This could be our first axis. We want coincidence between the origin and our first point, and we want a vertical axis. Then we need a second axis like this, and we want a third axis like this. Okay, and then let's sketch another axis like this. We want these different elements perpendicular. Okay, this is the condition that we want here. Okay. Now we can fix this angle here. Let's select 14 degree, and we can sketch and we can select 14 degrees even for this angle here. Let's say 14 degree, and we can fix this length. Let's say 50 degree, and let's fix this distance, this length here, let's say 45 degree, and let's click on OK. And we want coincidence between these different elements here. Okay, this is why now we've got an isodefined sketch. This is the most important thing. Okay, so let's sketch our first circle here, and let's select diameter, let's say 20 millimeters. We want a second circle here, and let's say as diameter 27 millimeters. And now our first circle here with 16 millimeters as diameters, and we want another circle here, let's say 16, and let's click on OK. As you can see here, we've got a problem because we want coincidence between this point and this point. And okay, now we've got our green sketch, and that means that we've got an isodefined sketch. Remember, this is the most important thing that we need to check. We want an isodefined sketch. Now we can transform this different circle here, and we want construction line. And this, let's select construction line, and now we want bitangent line like this, and we can select this circle and this circle. With double click we can enable this command. So let's select this and this, let's select this and this, this and this, this, this and this with this. Okay. Now we can select our quick trim, and we can delete this element here and this, and as you can see here we've got tangency. We want to maintain our tangency condition, and we can delete this and this. Okay. Now we need to close our sketch, and to close the sketch we can select arc. This is our center point, and we can select as first element this point where we got our tangency condition, and as second point this point. Okay. We can repeat this command selecting this point as a center point, and we can select this point as a start point, and this is our end point. Okay. As you can see, we've got difference. We want coincidence between two different points. This is the condition, and let's click on OK. And we need a third arc here, so we can select the origin as our center point, okay, and we can select, for example, this point as our first point, okay, and we want this point as our second point, okay. Now, as you can see here, we've got our user-defined sketch, but there is a problem. As you can see here, we've got this segment, and to eliminate this problem here, we can select this element and we can transform this as a construction line, okay. Here we are, and this is a point. We can transform this as construction point, okay. This is a point, yes, but this is a construction point, as you can see here, okay. So we can extrude our element, yes. As you can see, we've got a problem here. With double click, I've transformed this as I need to realize my latest circle here, so let's select this, and we can transform this as a construction, as a standard element, okay. You'll notice that we've got an user-defined sketch, but we've got problem. For example, we need a closed sketch, we don't want element. For example, this is an user-defined element, but this is not an element that we can extrude. Okay, and okay, let's check our sketch. I think now we should be able to extrude our element, yes. And now we can select as length 2.5 millimeters and clicking on preview, and let's click on OK. Remember, if you got problem with the sketch, you can select the sketch, as you can see here, and we clicking on sketch solving status. As you can see here, we've got now another constraint sketch, but clicking on this element, we can see what is our problem. If we've got problem, we can select our problem here, and for example, we can delete, but the best way to solve the status of our sketch is to select the different element that where we can find a problem, and we can transform this element as a construction element. This is the best way to solve our problem, okay? Let's click on close and exit workbench. Now let's select this edge here, and we can use our edge fillet, and let's say 6 millimeters, and okay, and we can select this edge here, and let's say 26 millimeters, preview, and okay. Okay, now we can edit our sketch. With double click on our sketch, we can introduce our first circle here. So let's click on circle, let's select this point as the center point, and let's create our sketch. We don't want any condition, so we want 6 millimeters diameters, okay, and this is our first hole. Now we want second circle. We want coincidence between the center point of our second circle and this axis here. Okay, we've got this condition here. Let's say its diameter 6 millimeters. Let's change this diameter, let's say 8 millimeters, and let's click on OK. Now we can fix the distance between these two different center, and let's say 26. Okay. This is too much, let's say 20, okay. Now we want another circle, we want coincidence between these different center point, and let's fix this diameter, let's say 8 millimeters, and let's click on OK. Okay, now we want another circle here, we want coincidence between the origin and our circle, we don't want any condition, and let's fix this diameter, let's say 6 millimeters, and another circle here. We want coincidence between these different points. We don't want any condition, okay? And let's say as diameter 6 millimeters. We can exit Workbench, and now we've got these 5 different tools, okay? Now let's close a specification tree. We can hide this different plane, hide and show, and we can add material. As always, let's select painting and let's select, for example, DS red, clamp base, apply material, and OK. And now we can save our model. So select new file, save as, and let's say clamp base save. Yes. As always, if you like this content, please consider to subscribe, share, support, and so on. See you soon.